from Bruce McGonigal. Pierre Poilievre compares Justin Trudeau to a crazy lunatic on a bus. Whoa. Who grabs the steering wheel from the bus driver and rams the bus through a guardrail off the cliff. I've got to be honest here. That's exactly what it feels like. Let's hear him elaborate on this because he's making perfect sense.
Mr. Speaker, this Prime Minister has admitted that deficits drive inflation. His minister admitted the same thing. That's why she said the deficit would not go above $40 billion. That was her guardrail. They weren't going to smash into that guardrail. She's like a bus driver saying she's going to come just short of hitting that $40 billion guardrail. And then some crazy lunatic comes in, grabs the steering wheel and jerks it sharp to the left through the guardrail. Does he realize there's 41 million Canadians that are going to go off the cliff in that bus?
Speaker,
Here's the thing. Before Trudeau speaks, he doesn't care about any of this. He doesn't give a damn. He's just in it for, I guess, the greater glory of Justin Trudeau. Everything you're going to hear is pure gibberish from an idiot, a narcissistic idiot who got elected on his last name and hair and teeth. Let's continue.
Leader of the opposition continues to talk down Canadians and the Canadian economy and indeed Canada. Let me once again put it on the record.
I think he was saying that you're a lunatic who has no idea what he's doing and is driving the country off a cliff. That's what he was saying, but all right, let's continue.
Canada is the best country in the world. And we, as Canadians, are stepping up, got us through the pandemic. Canadians got us through the challenge of high inflation. Canadians will keep building a positive future for themselves by being there and showing up for each other. Unlike the leader.
Oh, I guess everything's okay then. I guess Pierre Poilievre just shut up then. I mean, Trudeau just told us that we're being together for each other or something, and Canada's the best country in the world. Right? Have you seen the polls? Have you seen the polls? Canadians don't like you. We're sick of this. You can't just say, well, Canada's the greatest country in the world and Canadians are there for each other. What does any of that mean, really? How does that justify your appalling record? Right? There's a reason why you're set for a historic loss in the next election. Because Canadians are sick of you. Canadians have found that line where reality had a better argument than wokeness, than platitudes. You're failing because of your policies, what you've done to the country. You force Canadians to look in the mirror and go, okay, I think we made a mistake. Now it's time to correct course before this lunatic drives us, the whole country, completely off a cliff.
The opposition who's voted against every measure that has been put on the table to support Canadians over the past years and continues to be in it only for himself.
Only for himself. Everybody wants you to go, Justin. We don't want you anymore. Nobody wants you to stay. It feels like you're the one who's in it only for himself. And by the way, why not just address the issue at hand? He's talking about the deficit, the overspending, the constant overspending by your government. What are we talking about? Here's the national debt. Canada's national government debt. Let's see. Here's when Trudeau got in. Way down here, that's where it is now, $1.5 trillion. That's what he's talking about. This is why he's bringing up the deficit and why you're spending more. More than even you said you were going to. You're putting us at you're doing even more damage than you said you were going to do. The expiry date and what's left of Freeland's credibility looks like next week. Chrystia Freeland, of course, the trustee for the World Economic Forum, who's also the Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister in Canada, whose previous experience was being a journalist, which is perfect for Trudeau, isn't it? Let's see. Monday was the day that satire died in a parliamentary committee. Chrystia Freeland was asked whether the revised 23-24 deficit in next week's fall economic statement would be higher or lower than $60 billion, which is around $20 billion more than she said it would be in the last budget. This is the question at hand here, right? That's what Pierre Poilievre is talking about. The out-of-control spending, the total irresponsibility fiscally of the Trudeau government. So the finance minister, whose experience as being a journalist isn't very good at finance, it turns out. Of course, Trudeau has no answers for any of this. Here, this is his answer. This is his answer here. Why is the spending still so high? We're not in lockdowns anymore. Why is it still so high? COVID's long over now. Like, regardless of what Trudeau might say, or the liberal government ministers might say, that's done. There's no excuse. There's no excuse for this. But of course, he's got no answers. Of course, he's got no answers. What does he say? What's his answer to it?
Leader of the opposition continues to talk down Canadians and the Canadian economy, and indeed Canada.
He wasn't talking down Canadians. He was talking down you because of what you've done to the country. That's what was happening. That's what was happening. You can ignore it. You can pretend you didn't hear it, but we all know.
Let me once again put it on the record. Canada is the best country in the world. And
well, wait a second. You said you don't even think that we should be a country. You said that we're the first post-national country. What does that mean? That doesn't sound like you think Canada's the best country. No, it doesn't sound like you think it should even be a country. You said that Canada had no core identity. You said that out loud in front of people. It's on record. Canada has no core identity. That doesn't sound like you like Canada all that much. Why are you telling us this? We don't believe you. We don't believe that you like Canada. We don't believe that you think Canada should even exist. We think that you would prefer some sort of global socialist dictatorship. I think that you would prefer some sort of global China-style totalitarian state. You did say you admired their basic dictatorship, also on camera, where everybody could hear you.
There's a level of admiration I actually have for China, because their basic dictatorship is allowing them to actually turn their economy around on a dime and say,
all right. I'm not saying that like he's worse than Hitler. I'm just saying that he's at least as bad as Hitler. That's all. Let's see. Nevada says 10 months and 10 days. Maybe by some miracle we might be able to get a spring election or something. When is Jugmeat getting his pension? It's in the spring, right? Maybe right after that. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.